Bored of standing in place and watching the television on shop window, I pulled myself away from the tactile display with little effort. Okay, now this is a city. Clearly. Oh, characters! Characters! Oh, fuck, it's kanji. Fuck you, kanji. But you, what are you? Actually, that might... Let's see here. Check my notes. Oh wait, no. Check the, I think that might be... Yeah, that's Kataka there. So you got raw. Lines, have you any lines? Well, there is one, but I don't know. It's kind of it's not straight lines. I really need to memorize these. Okay, I think Romisu? I have no idea. Also, I just remembered in a previous recording, when they were at the festival, I managed to translate that one sign, didn't I? To Biru. That's beer. And that raises all kinds of questions. Either the bit underneath it said something like, not allowed on his premises or some shit like that, or that stall was selling beer. Is that even a thing? Is that even allowed? That's, I don't know. It probably was the other bits underneath it that I didn't bother translating. That probably was like, not allowed or some shit, I don't know. Well, stand in place to watch television in a shop window, I bought myself away from the night to play with Lilly. Having living out in Yamaku, the city seems like an entirely different world. No running in the halls, carving orderly conduct is to be used at all times in the classrooms. Students are to exit rooms after checking both directions for oncomers. Elevators are reserved for moving impaired students. Single file on stairs. Compared to such strict, almost regimental standards, the city's shopping arcade might as well be a strange country. While the school may have its fair share of hustle and bustle during the festival, the outside world is much different. It's strange, having lived in a metropolitan city before my actions. This should feel more natural than Yamaku and the surrounding town even could. Yet it feels foreign somehow. The elevated walkways and tall buildings, each adorned with billboards taller than any three people, don't do anything to distract me from the passing crowd's reactions. Lilly keeps one hand on my shoulder, the other holding her cane, which taps to burr the ground with a metronome-like steadiness, lurking over to her that neutral smile of hers still holds. A metronome-like steadiness, you say. I can imagine that. It's like, hey Lilly, with your cane, let's try to do it at like 100 beats per minute, and try to make it so like you kind of like indicate a like 5/4 time progression, and I'll play along. No. Having only seen her in school uniform, I'd not have recognized her as she sat on a bench waiting for me to come, if not for her cane propped up against it and her distinctive hair. I can't tell whether the glance encounter due to her height, her foreign looks, her obvious blindness, or all three. Not that any of those would make the situation any less uncomfortable than it is. Do you have any idea of where to look first, Hisao? Her soft voice breaks me out of my line of thought. I can't imagine that she's failed to notice the attention she garners, but she seems unfazed by it. I get the feeling she's the type to enjoy walking outside, so she might be used to it by now. Not really, this is my first time in the city, so I got no idea where to go. She furrows her brow in thought, planning the route for us to take, and come to think of it, a way to communicate it. Something I've noticed in the time I've been with her is how, when deep in thought, she lacks close to any form of body language to show it. Her expression may change, but not a hint of movement shows. She seems to have little in the way of sweeping physical gestures in general, though, so I've assumed it's part of her reserved nature. Is there a large electronics store near here? I take a quick look around, mostly finding clothing stores. After 3 seconds, I notice a store with a bright blue sign some distance away that fits her description. Yep, it's just a bit ahead of us. Should we go in that direction? Thankfully, it's just the information she needed. With a nod, we start off and head towards Lily's unknown destination, Landbox being our guide. I wonder what they'll get for Hanako's birthday this time around. What? Actually, what did she say? Large electronics store. This is not an electronics store. Here you go, 1 vanilla, 1 chocolate. I hand the money over the counter and take the cones to the railing that Lily's sitting on. Or did they off-screen go to the store and then just like, hey, let's get some ice cream? I can't believe I let her trick me like this. She not only led me to an ice cream stall, but also got me to buy her some. At least she gave me the money for hers. Sure enough, she's patiently waiting where I'd left her. I guess she was planning on making the day an event rather than a simple shopping trip. I call out to her and slowly place the vanilla cone in her outstretched hands, being careful to make sure she has a good hold of it before letting go. At least her tastes are fairly normal. I was worried she'd ask for some weird flavor when she first asked. Here's the change. It's okay, keep it. Actually, I got this. I got this. Finally, a chance. Shit, where is it? Chance! Where is it? There, no. It's gotta be somewhere near which page. I freaking got this, man. I got this. I got this. Somewhere. Somewhere. It must be here. Wait, no. Would it? Oh, yeah. Keep the change. Otsuriwa Gekko desu. There we go. Keep the change. I don't know how well my pronunciation was on that one, but hey, finally get to use one of the phrases I've learned. Just like, yeah, keep the change. I moved to protest, but actually, I don't even know if I'll even be able to do that, actually, but I'm gonna try it. Now I gotta freaking find that page again. It's just like, what? I should have memorized these rather than have to constantly look at my notes. Otsuriwa Keiko desu. Yeah, doing a female voice, or trying to do a female voice in Japanese ain't working there. Anyways, I moved to protest, but realized the futility of doing so with such a small amount. I slipped the coin into my pocket, supplementing my meager allowance ever so slightly. Lily shows no sign of wanting to get up, so I take a seat beside her and start eating my own ice cream. Summer well's nice. Hopefully we'll hold out for a while. You too. I'm beginning to think I'm the only person who prefers winter. I contemplate her statement for a long moment. Yeah, I think you might be. It draws the intended reaction. She's cute when she's pouting. Pat on the head. Still, I can't really imagine what's so good about winter. You can't go out without bundling up and you still freeze anyway. You know, I used to feel that winter was my favorite time of year, but not really. Honestly, I've got this kind of thing where I just like will not say what my favorite season is because like then I'll end up like hating that season or something. I don't know, I've just had this, I don't know. Anyways, I used to live further north where there'd be plenty of snow to play in, so it's a little nostalgic. I don't like the heat very much either. Well, I don't like either, really. I don't like when it's too cold or when it's too warm. It's just like, really, then the UK would seem like the perfect place, because we never really tend to have it being too warm or too cold. It's usually kind of just, meh. But, like, it tends to range nowadays. It's like freaking warm most of the time. wears a bit all over the place. One day I'll be going out, and just be like, okay, oh, I brought my coat, didn't need to, it's warm out here, bloody hell. Then the next time I go out, okay, I won't bring my coat. Oh, it's bloody cold, make up your damn minds! At least you can wear skirts, so I don't complain about that. She gives an amused giggle as we both get back to finishing off our already melting cones. I'm now picturing Hisao trying to wear a kilt. I idly sit and watch the crowds going by as we eat, catching bits and pieces of conversation. Looking to Lilly, I see her dutifully licking her ice cream from the top downwards, blissfully unaware of the fact that it's beginning to melt. It's melting. Where? Down a bit. She lowers the mouth from the top of the cone, but has no idea of where the ice cream's dripping. What follows is a game of guiding her left and right until she finally finds it. So is it like one of those game shows? I don't think I've ever actually watched those game shows. Well, I know of them, but I forget what they're called. But when they like have people on, they guide them just like blindfolded. It's like, now you go this way, that way, and they screw it up because you can't give directions worth shit. To any onlooker, it must seem absolutely bizarre. The girl with her eyes closed, turning her cone over and over as the guy next to her gives the instructions. A strange variant of childhood blindfold games, maybe. Well, it's that as well, isn't it? Like pinning the tail on a donkey or whatever. It's like, well, you're not really giving them instructions then, really, are you? Usually. In good time, we finally finish our treats, and while away, the time conversing casually. Caught mid-sentence, Lily pokes her head in her trademark manner. It's an unmistakable sign that something's caught her attention. Ah. What is it? Is Akira somewhere over there? I think I heard her. I raise an eyebrow as I look in the direction she's facing, somewhat doubtful of her ability to pick out Akira's lone voice in the din. Sure enough, though, a blonde girl in a suit can be seen through the tiny gaps between people walking every which way. I raise a hand and wave, trying to catch her attention. Sato! Hey, Sato! She stops in her tracks and looks towards me, evidently noticing my calls. As she does, I notice someone walking beside her. What? No, I thought someone else was in the background there, but nope. I can't get a good look at whoever it is, though, before the two begin walking towards where we are. As they reach us, Lily and I stand and dust ourselves off. Akira. Hey, you two. Oh, it's Hideaki, of course. It's like, oh, we're not supposed to know that information, but we went for Shizune's route, so we know who he is. And yes, it is a he. Remember that, man? That was priceless, that was. I was not expecting the trap. I was pretty much the same as Hisao in that scene. It's just like, oh, that's a girl, right? Nope. She nods towards me, a gesture which I quickly return. My gaze shifts towards the young girl. Girl, he says, next to her. Well, he thinks, and our eyes meet. As they do, Akira plops a hand onto her head, a move which doesn't seem to faze her. And that reminds me. Hideaki. What? They're not even hiding it, man. They freaking put his name right there. Why? Couldn't they have just like put it as like question mark, like in a standard traditional way when you don't know a character's identity yet? Even though we do, because we played for Shizune's route. I mean, what's up with that? But I noticed, in all of Shizune's route, Hideaki did not, at any point, ever get an appearance in any of the CGs. So I'm wondering, is he going to maybe get a CG appearance in one of Lily's route's CGs? If not, then he got the short stick on this one. I mean, even freaking Muto got that one CG with Misha, which I was not expecting. It's just like, finally I get a CG appearance, but I've got to freaking listen to Misha, well, try to get Misha to freaking, like, teach her this shit, and she just keeps making so much damn noise. Or whatever. I don't believe we've met. I'm Hideaki. Pleased to meet yourself. The guy's name, huh? What? You didn't say his name. Oh wait, did Akira introduce him? I just completely overlooked it or what? Oh. I didn't realize he pretty much just introduced himself. That's why. God damn, I'm an idiot. See what I mean about overlooking things? It's like when I try to pronounce a word and overlook how it's spelled and end up pronouncing it completely wrong. The guy's name, huh? Guess I just dodged a bullet there. He was somewhat restrained by Akira's hand being on his head. Oh, Hideaki's here too. Are you well? Akira's been taking very good care of me, thank you. Akira grins as if to affirm the point and rubs his head hard, dragging it around in a circular motion. His dreary face during this is somewhat amusing. Uncle's out on business again, so I'm taking him around town for the day. I'd prefer to be spending the day on a date with my boyfriend, but Hideaki gives a cup to try and redirect Akira's thoughts. What, so she's got a boyfriend? As he does so, though, I find mine wondering. They're related, and further, as first cousins. I suppose that explains why she's taking care of him in any case. Come to think of it, Hideaki, how did you know my name? Akira told me. Being a Yamaku student, I suppose you're disabled in some way. Not everyone in Yamaku is disabled. Which I only learned a handful of days ago. I give silent thanks to Tsune and Misha for their stream of information about how the school works. Because of them, I found out that since the school will accept practically anybody suffering from non-mental disabilities, it doesn't discriminate against healthy people either. Oh wait, I found out since the school will accept practically anybody suffering. So essentially, is the school like physical disabilities allowed, healthy people allowed, mentally disabled not? Well, that wouldn't make sense, because Kenji clearly has a bit going on there, Hanako as well, so I don't know. Seems unlikely that many in good health would enroll there though, while the standard of education is pretty high. It's extremely isolated and very much focused on helping disabled students. It's dodging the question. Damn, he's sharp. Before I can say another word though, he decides to take a stab at it himself. So I'll record myself. Your heart. Akira looks mildly curiously at me, her interest piqued as well. That sure is a lucky guess. How did you... You showed no missing limbs or deformities, so still disabilities are out. Considering the lack of any strange mannerisms, it's also unlikely that you have any mental disability. What? Not everyone with a mental illness can make it so blatantly obvious. But Yamaku doesn't take mental disabled students. I know. Even that aside, the only possibility left is that of internal disabilities. That just boggles my mind, man. Is that, what do you mean by that exactly? Mental illness is not allowed in there. But define a bit more on that. Expand. What do you mean by that? It's just like, oh, if like no schizophrenics or anything like that, or something like. What about depression? That counts as a mental illness. Then you got various anxiety disorders. I mean, frickin' Hanako is like spot on with that. Kenji has a bit of a paranoia thing going on. I mean, is it simply like, it's just like, no. The disability, they can have the mental disability, but they must also have a physical disability. Is that what it is? I have no idea. I didn't know which one you might bear, so I guessed. Correctly as it turns out, the reaction confirmed my guess. More than a little bemused, I look to Akira. She grins and shrugs, obviously taking some enjoyment out of her partner's inductions. He's sharp, yes, but more than a little unsympathetic. Logical, but lacking in tact. His attitude reminds me of Shizune anyway, as do his looks. That is because they're all weighted! Spoilers. That's why he's staring at me. Surely I'm not that unusual specimen. Does he not know how unusual he looks? I could overlook the spats and cloven as just being coincidental, but the ribbon in his hair really is too much. This is entirely beside the point, though. Sorry, you just remind me of someone. Akira gives him a sharp jab with her elbow. Told you're not that much different from her. He coughs into his hand to try and maintain an uptight and serious demeanor. I see you met my sister then. Perhaps my full name might help you. I'm Hideaki Hakamichi. You're probably thinking of my sister, Shizune Hakamichi. Oh, so he is Shizune's brother. Wait a minute. If Hideaki is the son of Akira's uncle, and Shizune is his sister, then that means Lilly and Sato as follows as brothers. Therefore, Lilly and Shizune are first cousins? Lilly groans in an uncharacteristically unrestrained manner. Her action earns an amused smirk from her sister. The enmity between the two just took on another meaning. I thought it simply a matter of difficulty of communication between the two. The family feud makes things much more complicated. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. She gives a half-hearted shrug. She must have given as much weight to the two's conflict as I do. Must have given a lot. Well, that's how it is. What are you two up to anyway on this fine day? We're shopping for Hanako's birthday present. The day will be coming up soon, so this is the last chance we'll have before school starts again for this week. Whole week for me. Akira makes a strange face as if Lilly had just said that the sky wasn't blue and the clouds not white. Awkward silence. Just like, actually, look at the sky there, man. It's just clouds. The sky ain't blue, man. The sky is covered by clouds. And heck, it's more of a greyish colour than white right now there. Isn't her birthday on the 10th next month? Yes, why? Is something wrong? Akira's face seems to collapse. It's an utterly unbefitting expression for someone so rowdy and headstrong. The folks didn't call you yet. As Lily shakes her head clearly, I look at Hideaki to see if he knows anything about this. A simple shrug is his only answer. Ah, yes, I remember now, so it's gonna play out, well, obviously it's gonna play out in this round as well. For a moment, Akira ponders what to do before smiling once again. The fact that she can hide her emotions so quickly and effectively is unsettling. Hey, shorty, sorry, but could you hang with Hisao for a while? He nods and waves her off, Akira placing an arm on Lily's shoulder as she guides her away and out of earshot. And so I'm alone with Shorty. So, nice weather, isn't it? Not really, it's cloudy. Seems so. I guess it dumped us. Indeed. What a virtual attempt at small talk. I've got no idea of how to talk to this guy, and his robotic responses aren't helping. Blood and the stone come to mind. Without another word, he begins to rock on his feet in an obvious gesture of boredom with this discussion. He really is like a little kid, despite his serious stamina. Suspecting the conversation over, I decide to accomplish what I came here to do in the first place. I'm gonna go search for a present. Coming. Not much else to do. In a little while, we come to a small shop beside a convenience store. Doors saw windows aren't filled with electronics and computer games, but dolls, stuffed bears, and all manners of wood-crafted oddities. What, is he gonna get the same one again, anyway? Othello's Antiques? An antique store? Well, if there's anything in this town that suit Hanako, I guess it'd be here. I reach for the old-looking door handle, but pull back at the last minute as I realize my companion's gone adrift. Not coming in? I'll just be in the newsstand for a while, don't mind me. His voice makes it painfully clear he has zero interest in what's in the store, and that he doesn't feel obliged to follow me. As he wanders off without another word, I push the thick wooden door and enter the store, a bell above me ringing out. The musty smell of old books and wooden shelves is distinctively anachronistic. I look to the counter beside the door. The greying man behind it sits there silently reading a tattered book. It certainly fits the look of the place. Slowly wandering through the aisles, the person I'm reminded of as I inspect each handcrafted or imported oddity in turn isn't Hanako. Crouching down, I examine the ancient oak desk inside the shop window. At least 30 dolls, all varying wildly in size and make. The only similarity between them is the long Victorian dresses they wear. I turn the price tag of one that looks to be about waist height. It's not in my price bracket at all. I do the same to each of them, getting more and more depressed as they get smaller and smaller in size. That is, until I reach the very smallest one. It's affordable, just yet of quality make, and with long auburn hair and a little blue dress. I decided it's the kind of present Hanako would appreciate, pretty looking and far from gaudy. After I carefully pick it up, I decide to keep looking around the store. I'm not sure whether it's because I like the atmosphere or out of simple curiosity. Picking around the corner before I go to the next aisle, I see that the shelves in this one are stocked with wooden toys, from toy cars to intricate automatons. Tucked beneath a line of nutcrackers, I notice a little plain wooden box. It feels surprisingly light as I pick it up with my free hand. Oh. Wait, could it be? Is this the missing track? Ow! Ow, 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 ow. And this reminds me of that one lullaby that I did years ago for that story that I've been writing. Okay, that bit's fast. Like, it has a kind of lullaby feel to it is what I did, but it's kind of fast, usually. Is it a vibraphone? Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's a music box, but I mean, like, you know, the sounds it's making. The lid only needs the smallest movement to pop open, the little metal drum inside beginning to rotate immediately. For seconds on end, I simply stand there listening to the palm-sized melody. As it plays, I take the tiny price tag in my fingers and bring it up to my face. Minuscule, cursive writing, taking some effort to read. It's affordable, sort of. I wonder what key it's in. Just like, play guitar along to pretty much anything. Music box, let's do it. Yeah, maybe C minor. What would the relative major of that be? E flat, I think. Anyways. Cruising slightly, I close the lid and make my way to the counter with doll and music box in hand. Save! I've got to check. I must know. Jukebox! Yeah, there it is. The last one! Finally! Complete music that had been bugging me for the longest time. Sarabande from... what? Is this an actual, like, piece that wasn't written for the visual novel, but was, you know, recorded for it? I don't know. That bit totally sounds like, you know, the kind of music that's in this game, really. Novel. Anyways. When I lay the two on a counter, the man behind it sits up and takes stock of them. He doesn't hide very well his surprise at someone of my age buying them. It's painful, but I hand over the money for the two and leave the store with a small, opaque bag in hand. Hideaki being there takes me by surprise. Oh, hi, I thought you'd be at the newsstand. Akira gave me a call. She's waiting for us at the band with Lilly. At least that solves the issue of trying to find them again. We head out back to the fountain. Hideaki's immaculate posture and presentation despite his appearance make for a strange contrast even as we walk. Lilly and Akira stand there waiting for us. Their faces hard to read. Hey, you ready to go, shorty? Hideaki's mood seems to improve as he rejoins her. See you, Lilly. Tell Hanako I said happy birthday. Well, bye.
Goodbye, Akira.
And with that, the two disappear into the furthers of the afternoon city crowd. Turning to Lilly, I notice she's carrying a small bag. It's now that I realize why her position felt different from before. While Lilly is typically the type to wear her emotions on her sleeve, her expression and tone are clouded and difficult to read. It's more than a little off-putting, but given the effort she's taking to hide her emotions, I doubt she wants to be cornered on why she's feeling this way. I already bought a Hanako a present.
Yes, have you?
Yeah.
Shall we head back to the bus stop then?
Okay, there should be a bus back to Yamaka pretty soon. With that, we begin to walk. It feels strange compared to before. Lily's hand on my forearm feels unusually tense, and the whole atmosphere is extraordinarily awkward. The silence... Silence my ass! These freaking cars! Jesus Christ! Well, that's cities for you, I guess. Cars all the damn time going everywhere. But seriously, what silence? Well, obviously the silence between the two of them, because clearly it just reminds me of Silent Hill. I mean, just like, what? How does this remind you of Silent Hill? Well, what I mean by that is, like, it's called Silent Hill, but it's anything but freaking quiet. Freaking radio going off, it's like... It's like, what's so silent about this place? It's freaking, well, it's like, it's a ghost town, essentially. Well, aside from, you know, monsters and a few residents here and there. But, you get the idea. Silent Hill isn't all that quiet. There's freaking noise all the damn time in that game. Well, in the series in general. But anyway, the silence continues for a long while. They don't like seeing it like this.
Hanako's birthday party is going to have to be held earlier. Is the 4th going to be alright for you?
I have no other possible obligations anyway, so I reflectively nod. Only afterwards I remember that doing so is pointless, and quickly answer so by speech. She tries to collect herself. Her task that looks almost pitiable in how plain it is to see how distant her thoughts are.
Sorry, Hisao, you said the bus would be coming soon, right?
That's right. But now that she says that, I have an idea. Actually, do you have anything to do later today?
I don't believe so. Why do you ask?
It's to the point where I normally take your hand and rush you somewhere, but even without that, you'll have to trust me, okay? I take her hand and gently lead her on, her distant face replaced by one of mild surprise and curiosity. As the waitress sets the cup of tea and cup of coffee that I'd ordered onto the table, I thank her before she takes her leave. Truth be told, I really lucked out in finding this cafe. I didn't really know where I was going, or rather I was just looking for any cafe that looked relatively nice. Having managed to recover a little, Lilly attentively sips at her cup as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. You know, I've probably freaking said this before, but this place reminds me of Persona 4. Just expect to be that freaking every day is great at your June-ass jingle to just play. Having managed to recover a little, Lilly attentively sips at her cup as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. As I hoped, her face lights up as she realizes what flavor it is.
Ah, this is wonderful. Hisao, how did you know that this was...
I'd asked for French vanilla black tea, hedging my bets that it would be her favorite flavor. At least one she liked. Well, I don't really know much about tea, it sounded like one she might appreciate. On the basis of her liking vanilla ice cream, tea connoisseur, I am definitely not. It was a lucky guess. You really like tea, don't you? She puts her teacup down and gives a tiny nod, that familiar small smile thankfully perched on her face once again.
Drinking tea is calming, I think.
With the amount you drink, are you sure you're not addicted to it? Caffeine addiction is pretty common nowadays.
Did I ever say I wasn't?
She lets out a giggle as my head drops. We all have our vices, I suppose, and there are worse things to be addicted to. French vanilla black tea, huh? I'll have to remember that. For a while, we both soundly drink. It's comforting to have someone like her nearby in such new surroundings, even if it's just the two of us sitting in silence. I begin to wonder if this feeling is the same for her, until she sets down her cup.
So, do you mind if I ask you a slightly odd question?
That depends on the question, I guess.
I was wondering what your favorite color is. Everyone has one after all.
I almost reply before realizing why the seemingly mundane question is actually quite strange. My favorite color, but... She gives a pouting look, wanting me to answer anyway. While the answer seems unavoidably wasted on her, there isn't any harm in giving it. I've always had a thing for green. I'd say that's my favorite. I was expecting you to be like me, Hisao. Oh, is that why your name's in green, Hisao? Well, green's my second favorite color. Favorite color is blue. I was expecting you to follow the same. Blue is well, I don't know.
Green, is it? What things do you think of when contemplating that color?
I suppose grass fields and trees in summer, and the army as well, camouflage.
Men always seem to like the military. But that sounds like a nice color. A very nice color.
She nods her head a little, as if approving of the choice, considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind. Labeling it by association seems reasonable enough. If everyone has a favorite color, then what's yours?
White. I'm told that's the color of snow and of ice cream.
You're no better than me then. If you only like that color because of a favorite food, I guess white's nice too, though. And speaking of colors, it'll be getting dark soon. Let me help you up. Lilly offers her hand, which I take in mind to help lever her up from her seat at the table. Its softness compared to mine takes me off guard, as I'm really not used to such casual contact. Doesn't seem to bother at all, though. While it seems obvious why, it feels like just one more ladylike aspect to her. As her hand moves to her pocket, I quickly cut her off. Don't worry, I'll pay for this.
Oh, thank you, Hisao.
She gives an earnest smile at the gesture, a reward much greater than that of her words. By the time we step off the bus, it's well and truly dark. We make our way up the hill in silence, both of us behaving a little awkwardly, probably because of the day's events. While I'm still concerned over Lilly's withdrawn nature after meeting with her sister, the fact I managed to cheer her up even slightly feels like a personal victory. But it feels like the air between us has changed. Maybe it's only a bit, but it's something I don't think either of us realized before.
That was a date, wasn't it?
It was, and that doesn't elude either of us, the question's answer being so self-evident as to be rhetorical. Awkward as it may be, I don't think this feeling is bad. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't know what it is, I certainly can't be sure, but it feels like something a little more than friendship. Understanding, empathy, searching for words to adequately describe it is difficult. Nonetheless, would you like to do this again sometime, Lilly? Out shopping for presents? The tentative question is met with the same look from Lilly as before. Oh, she's actually blushing. Her pale skin makes the rosy tint of her cheeks just slightly more noticeable, and her face, though still pointed to the street ahead of her, lowers just a little.
Okay.
Actually, I wonder. Actually, what is that? No, actually, that'd be major. Another C sharp. I think it's a C sharp, or it could be a D flat. That's major, but I don't know about the F because it's just instead of a full-on major or minor. Whatever.